Every Kenyan girl, from the ages 18, lower middle class and above, has had a vivid explicit fantasy of being taken to an exotic retreat by a significantly older male, preferably of Kenyan, Nigerian, Arabic or white descent. In the study of this nationwide phenomenon, we need to ask ourselves two questions. Why an exotic retreat? And why a significantly older male of 40 to 70 years? Welcome to the story of how the young Kenyan boy mentally traumatized the young Kenyan girl. We are 1 hour past Mtito Andei, and we are vividly approaching our destination, Mombasa. It's a trip, a school trip, our last to be precise. The last before we undertook the dreaded KCPE exams. For some of us, just like Dr. Strange, we had foreseen 4 million possible outcomes of the exams, but only one where we come out on top. So our hopes were not any high. But for the Kenyan girl child, she was nervous. Her education came first. She was scared of letting her parents down. So in real sense, she needed this trip. She needed to calm her nerves down. It's 8 p.m. The darkness that was slowly creeping in had now fully consumed the atmosphere. So the boys I'm with start getting freaky with the girls they had agreed with. And the Kenyan girl child is seated there staring at me, and I'm thinking to myself, she probably thinks I'm ugly. What will I do when she calls me Shrek and doesn't want to touch me? I should run when I probably have my dignity and respect. But then she reaches for something in her bag and pulls out a Kit Kat and offers it to me. I think that's cute. So I reach out my hand and slap that thing out of her hand and grab her by the neck and tell her, baby, you're the only snack I need. I didn't do that. I'm aware it was the alpha thing to do, but I didn't do that. Yeah, calm down. So listen. So I take the Kit Kat and I sit down next to her and she says to me, I'm not really good with this kind of situations. So I says to her, don't worry. I hear my big cousins talking about this type of thing all the time. And if you give me the platform and the ample time, I would love to convert that theoretical knowledge to practicality. This now attracts a nod from her, but I'm not convinced with that consent. So I pull out the legal forms. Yes, a legal contract that stipulates that she, in her right consciousness and sane sound mind, has agreed to rub and bump privates with me. So, with the legal procedures out of the way, we proceed to do the making of the out. And just as my big cousins had laid the blueprint for their future generations, so I followed. I was expected to taste the lips, appreciate them, and progress. Taste the neck, appreciate them, and progress. Taste the melons, appreciate them, and progress, and work my way down until eventually my hand was now on her sway and bados. At this point, I'm supposed to look for something called a pearl and polish it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you're probably too young to be on my channel. Go watch some Coco Melon. So I decide to polish her jewelry with my jewel, my jewels. They say Iron sharpens iron. So I'm out here working my hips. Because you know my hips don't lie. Pam para para pam 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 para para pam 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 para para pam 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 pam. Oh baby, when you is that hips don't lie? I'm on tonight, you know my hips. Yep, that's hips don't lie. And whilst I'm working my hips, I hear a sound that resembles water rushing out of a tap in high pressure 3 times. So ever since that day, the Kenyan girl child has always longed for a long distance retreat. And the only ones that can afford the long distance retreat are the older wababas.